Wow, this is an intense looking question, right? Look at those answer choices, very big. In fact, the passage is really short because we're really just given a passage that is the question, right? They kind of flip this around. We have to most effectively illustrate the claim, and then we're going to fill in a blank. So let's know what the claim is. That's really where the question's instructions are going to lie. It's O Pioneers, a 1913 novel by Willa Cather. In the novel, Cather depicts Alexandra Bergson as a person who takes comfort in understanding the world around her. Comfort in understanding the world around her. That's the thing. So if something checks that box, then we're good. I would say maybe if we wanted to split this up, we want to talk about comfort, we want to talk about understanding, we want to talk about the world around the person. So we can split this up into 3 ideas if we want to. Let's see if splitting it up helps us or not. A, she looked fixedly up the bleak street as if she were gathering her strength to face something, as if she were trying with all her might to grasp a situation which, no matter how painful, must be met and dealt with somehow. Well, a couple of things bother me here. Well, grasping a situation somehow, that doesn't sound like understanding. It sounds like they don't understand something, right? Plus, this is very negative. Right? It's a bleak street. She's facing something. It seems scary, and yet we're focused on a positive idea. The word comfort is definitely a positive idea. So this doesn't seem to match with what we're being told. B, she had never known before how much the country meant to her. Okay, that seems positive. The chirping of the insects down in the long grass had been like the sweetest music. She had felt as if her heart were hiding down there, somewhere, with the quail and the plover and all the little wild things that crooned or buzzed in the sun. Under the long, shaggy ridges, she felt the future stirring. This could be right. This seems positive. Some red flags, maybe, though. She had never known. She felt the future stirring. Maybe does she understand the future? Something's hiding somewhere, right? This seems like an unknown idea. We're supposed to think about understanding the world around her. She doesn't, I don't know if she understands it, but it definitely has the right connotation, so we're going to keep that one in. C, Alexandra drove off alone. The rattle of her wagon was lost in the howling of the wind, but her lantern, held firmly between her feet, made a moving point of light along the highway, going deeper and deeper into the dark country. So these seems kind of negative, right? Dark, lost. So it doesn't seem like the right tone. Plus, I don't really see that anything about understanding the world. It's mostly just a description of a scene, I guess. So this doesn't seem related to the claim. D, Alexandra drew her shawl closer about her and stood leaning against the frame of the mill, looking at the stars which glittered so keenly through the frosty autumn air. She always loved to watch them, to think of their vastness and distance, and of their ordered march. It fortified her to reflect upon the great operations of nature, and when she thought of the law that lay behind them, she felt a sense of personal security. Okay. It's definitely D. And I don't know if you're noticing it the way I'm noticing it, but they basically, you've probably done this before in Microsoft Word or some document where you're typing your essay and you're writing and you're like, oh, I don't want to use this word. I want to use a smarter vocab word. And you right click and it gives you the list of synonyms. Or maybe you go to dictionary.com and or thesaurus.com and you type that word and you get a list of synonyms and you just swap it out. That's what they're doing here, right? Let's take a look. It fortified her to reflect upon the great operations of nature. I mean, gosh. Reflect is like a perfect synonym for understand, right? Fortify, if you're fortified, you feel stronger, you feel better, right? So that's comfort. And upon the great operations of nature, well, the operations of nature is the world around her. They literally just took each word and kind of well, what's a synonym? What's another way of saying this idea? It's literally like a one for one. And then even at the end, they kind of reiterate this. When she thought of the law that lay behind them, right? So when she thought of the laws of nature, she felt a sense of personal security. What's another word for security? How about comfort, right? Feeling safe. So B is pretty good. And if D didn't exist, I would be perfectly fine picking B. It has a lot of the same ideas. I can kind of stretch them to make it seem like she feels comfortable because she's, I guess looking at nature and admiring it. But if you see these kinds of direct matches, you just got to pick that and trust that. So that is always how I'm thinking about this, whether it's the vocabulary questions, the outline questions at the end. I'm not thinking about the kind of overall, I guess I am thinking of the overall vibe of a choice, but I'm also kind of looking for specific strong words that match up between the passage and the choice. And in this case, there are definitely strong words given to us at the end of the passage that we need to find. And so it's not just overall positive versus positive. That checks off for B pretty nicely. then these strong words in the passage really just like are kind of verbatim, perfectly placed into choice D. And when I have that many direct connections, I know I've found the right thing. And the SAT really does set you up for that. So it's not a coincidence that that happened. That's how they designed the question. So don't just kind of like think it's a good luck, like look for that. That's how I'm treating the test, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, is I'm looking for those deep connections that are just kind of like synonyms, and they are very, very commonly in these kinds of things, especially when it's like literature, poetry, something like that, where we're not going to necessarily understand every word and every sentence. We do really want to look for those one-to-one connections to give us the confidence that we're right.